Hi, I have another game for you from the Gibraltar Tradewise tournament. And we have everybody's favorite, Vasily Ivanchuk, with the black pieces. And unfortunately, he is on the receiving side in this game. He's playing against the Indian Sandipan. And the concept that Sandipan on court in this game is quite amusing. Well, amazing is what I wanted to say. Perhaps amusing to some, I don't know. But very interesting. And one wonders if how much of this was opening preparation. Sandipan opened with d4. And Ivanchuk, a very versatile and universal player. He goes for the Nimzo-Indian in this game. But he can just about play anything under the sun. e3, what goes for the Rubinstein Variation, and c5. Knight g to e2. Well, actually it's knight e2 because the other knight can't move, so knight e2 is the correct way to notate it. C takes d4 and e takes d4. Here the principled move is to play d5, stake your claim in the center, and then white has a choice between a3 or c5. Sandipan went with c5. Knight came into e4. And the most common move here is bishop d2, giving up the bishop pair, but white will get the bishop on b5, on b4 back. So knight takes d2, queen takes, and black plays a5. After a3, white gets the bishop pair. And we're actually following a famous game between Viktor Korchnoi and Anatoly Karpov. They played this variation in their 1978 World Championship match in Baguio City in the Philippines. There we saw bishop d7 by Karpov. And play followed bishop d3 and only then a4. Korchnoi held the upper hand, but Karpov managed to draw with the black pieces. It's also noteworthy that Ivanchuk has had this position with the white pieces against Yasser Seirawan, and there Seirawan went bishop d7 as well. Ivanchuk, however, went with pawn to a4. And here comes the concept by white. Generally, we don't like giving up two pieces for a rook, but that's precisely what Sandipan did. He does get a pawn as well, so material is more or less equal, but usually people don't go for this in the middle game unless there's a very specific reason. And he took on a4. And at first the computers don't like this, but I have a feeling that this must have been an opening idea prepared by Sandipan. If this was over the board inspiration, all the more credit to him. But even though you find ideas at home and play them in games, so I want to have the same color for the game, not the variation color, so a4 and knight takes a4. So even if you find them at home, it's still part of chess. I mean, you have to find the ideas. It's a little more impressive to find them over the board, but it's still chess. It's part of chess. I mean, if somebody can shoot a 3-point shot in the NBA, oh, he just practices it a lot. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. So opening preparation is part of chess. So rook takes a4. So here the idea unfolds. He takes on a4. And materially black should be better. But if white can get these pawns rolling, then he's making the bacon. And he tries to do that. Queen b4. Trying to kick the bishop away so we can push the pawns. There are two choices for black here. He went with queen to d7. I want to have a quick look at bishop c6. Here I have a feeling that white would want to start pushing the pawns a4, b4, so maybe a4. If castles, we can get the queen out of the way. I suspect queen d2, maybe queen a3. And if queen d7, we can go back to a5 now, and then push b4. And once you get the pawn on b5, we're doing pretty good. Here black is forced to give up the exchange. I mean, give up on a piece, so he will be down the exchange. And white should be better here, even though it's not super clear. I mean, there's e5 with some counter chances. White will most likely play something like f3 or get the queen back, but this should be good for white. In the game, queen d7, protecting the bishop. White now castled, and queen b5. Looks like black is consolidating, but white played an amazing idea again. Maybe this was the trick that white wanted black to fall into. b3, excellent move. Of course you can't take it because then you lose the queen, so you have to take on b4. But this looks good. Now you have a blockade. You're attacking the rook, and if you can get castled and play knight c6, you know, then black is doing really good. But he doesn't get the time. The rook is attacked. What does white do? Power chess. Rook a7. Black is just not given the time. Chucky took the rook on f1. He doesn't have time to protect the pawn. Bishop c6. We play b5. And black is toast. You can move the bishop back, or you can take on b5. I'll take on b7. Taking here is with jack, so you don't have any good choice here with black. It's losing. So, like I said, Chucky took on f1. But did he take back? No. Rook takes b7. White al tempo here, attacking the knight. Black doesn't really have a choice. He can play knight c6. And that's just about the only move. White takes the bishop on f1. And what to do now? Chucky played the most natural move. He castled. But perhaps there was some fight with rook f8. That's what the computer gives. And it has the evaluation around equal, but I suspect this is very difficult for black. Ivanchuk castled, and after that it's all a one-way street for the white pawns. b5. Chucky played knight a5. He doesn't even have time for knight takes d4. Because the knight is on such a bad circuit, you can't stop the pawns. How do you come around? Knight f5 to d6 looks like the only way, but it's just too late. The rook comes to b8. And black can't really do anything to improve his position, so white will simply push the pawns, and once they're far enough you can even take on f8 and push b7, and we're gonna make one or two queens depending on black's mood here. So going back, Chucky did try knight to a5, but after rook c7 he resigned after only 23 moves, which is pretty amazing. And it's very similar as in the knight takes d4 line. There's like no good way for this knight to counter the pawns. Let's say we go and take b6, come back. White will push c6. Rook a7 also comes to mind here. g5, b7. Okay, king g7 is useful just to not to pin the rook, and at some point you have to sacrifice your knight, and the rook ending will be completely lost. White probably has even time just to bring the king, and once this king goes for counterplay, you're gonna drop pawns. You don't have time for it, so white wins, and Ivanchuk didn't want to see any more. So a very nice concept by Sandipan, not something you see every day, and I thought this was a really interesting game, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Should we get some music? Get some music. I'll talk over it though. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you like my content. There's a paper link in the description. Some people use it, I don't know. You don't have to. It's an honor system. If you appreciate it, go ahead. Should be like linked to my video. old video you can watch. Watch my old videos, man. Please do that. I don't know if this would be a trend where I talk over the last part of the video. We'll have to see. Trendy